What's up, Summoners? King Blair here. Today, we're here with another Top 5 Tuesday, and today will be the top 5 heroes who should get an exclusive equipment in the future, who I think deserve it and would do really good with it and would fix a lot of their problems. So if you like the video, make sure you like, subscribe, and join the Discord link. The subscribe and the Discord being the most important. I will be streaming in the near future within the next month, trying to set up some things, do some trials. So stay in the Discord to be updated for that. And for the subscribes, I have so much content ready for you guys. So click that subscribe button so you're notified. And click the bell if you want to be notified when I drop another video, because the Melissa guide will be coming soon. I'm so hyped for it. I like the way it's turning out. So pretty excited about that. But without further ado, let's just jump right into the video. Top 5 with exclusive equipments. Okay, before we talk about them, let's talk about exclusive equipments. So what the exclusive equipments are meant to do is to fix small flaws in the hero to make them either really, really strong or just a lot better overall. Like fix a lot of their like little quirks. So just for example, kind of looking through some of them, I forget that they're in the Hall of Trials. But for people that don't know, you can go to the Hall of Trials. Make sure you do it this week before it resets. I always forget. There was one week I actually forgot, and it's rough, because you don't get that many. But as far as the exclusive equipment, Rob and Kyra got it out. But basically, it adds to the unit. It doesn't necessarily, it's not necessarily there as like, it's a buff. Yes, it's a buff. But it's for heroes who don't really have problems with the kit. It's more like heroes who need a little bit extra help, who don't need a rework, who don't need a big buff. So I did make a top 5 before already about the top 5 heroes that should get buff. For example, haste. An exclusive equipment is not going to fix haste. That's something that an exclusive equipment is not going to do anything to fix haste. So that's why this is the heroes that need slighter tweaks. So if you see with Destina, they made some of her strength stronger. With Cowrick, they made some of her strength stronger. Euphine made some of her strength stronger. Charles just made him even more broken. Charles shouldn't be here. I don't know why they did that, but they did. Bellona, it made her a lot better. Bellona was actually starting to fall off the map. And her exclusive artifact actually put her back. So definitely, it's small tweaks that definitely go a long way in fixing the character. But it's not going to be like straight up like big buffs. So you won't see a lot of heroes that are doing really, really bad. It's more heroes who, with a small tweak, they will be doing just fine. So that is going to bring me to number 5. Oh, by the way, this is my opinion. I didn't look at anything. It's just the things that I really do think these heroes have the potential to be really good if they get exclusive equipment and do a lot and help the game out. So, all right, now that's out of the way, let's actually start with number 5. So you guys are probably gonna be like, oh man, this guy's going crazy over her. But I actually think it should go to Melissa. I think one of the exclusive artifacts should go to her. Why? So her job is to strip buffs, do damage, apply curse, and do all these things. But right now, she has way too many roles she needs to fill, and it kind of puts her in a spot where it's kind of hard. Like, her only job right now is to counter Emma Violet, and she does a really good job at it, but she has to check 3 times effectiveness or something. So if you don't have her 100% crit and you're attacking Emma Violet, you might miss the crit. GG. The other thing is that if you miss stealing the debuff from the Violet, it's GG. So there's that one. And then there's the other effectiveness check of applying the debuff. And then there's the last effect. There's like 2 effectiveness checks on her S3, because there's one that applies the curse, one that strips the buffs. So there's those 2. And then even on top of that, she can still miss on Emma Violet because she has Moonlight Dreamblade. So you're forced to use Oath Key on her. So there's a lot of help that she needs in this department, because it's things that are out of the player's control. And I will be talking about that in my full guide. So that's why, like, I've gotten to use her more, and I'm like, yeah, she definitely needs a little bit of love. So what do I think they should give her? Of course, they should give her the coffin as the exclusive equipment. Like, that just makes sense to me, like, give her the coffin as the exclusive equipment. What I think they should add is for the skill 3, I want it to be effectiveness or crit rate. Crit rate would be awesome because it's really hard to build her with high crit rate. So it'd be awesome because you need to crit on the S3 for it to actually function. So that one would help take a load. I honestly would like crit the most, but the one that I could see them giving her is effectiveness, which, effectiveness is nice, but it's still, there's still an innate 15% chance for the unit to resist. So that's what I think the base stat should be. As far as the skills, what I would like to see if they ever give it to Melissa, and it's probably gonna be like another 2 months before we get one, but I would like to see them do kind of make it so she doesn't have to have Oath Key. So similar to Lilibet, where Lilibet has a 20% extra effect, like hit chance. I want her to get an extra 20% hit chance on this skill, so that way you can actually give her a better artifact. You can give her the effectiveness artifact, you can go more aggressive, you can give her Angelstum. You have more options when countering Emma Violet when you use your Melissa. So I think it actually would be really, really good, especially because Emma Violet, he's becoming a problem, man. Like, he's actually starting to become a problem higher up in the tier. I don't know if you guys see it in like Challenger and lower, but a lot more people are starting to use him, and he's almost becoming an RB. He's really, really, really annoying. So seeing that change to Melissa would add another counter. It would become a counter, and it's already in the game. So it would help her a lot if she could get that. Because then you have access to other artifacts, or you can even go with Oath Key. So just in case you do miss the strip, it's not the end of the world because you have a 40% chance to hit. So that would be awesome too, because then it's just like a 70% chance to hit, which just makes it more consistent, makes it better. The other place I like to see it would actually be again on the S3, and it would actually be to increase the damage. If y'all didn't know this, this skill actually hits the weakest. Out of all the skills, it hits the weakest. What I mean by that, it's really weak. Like, this skill will do 10 to 12k on an Emma Violet, which is usually enough to kill them. But this skill is doing like 16k, and the soul burn on this skill is doing like 20k if it's fully Mulligord out. So it's kind of one of those things that's like, definitely needs a little bit of love. The last one, they always kind of throw one away to like one of the other skills. Maybe they could do this one where like it applies a burn or something. Or maybe this one applies a burn or something, or increases the unhealable effect. Something small, because they always give one that's like a terrible option, but kind of unique if you really do use her for that. So maybe like a debuff, adding like a burn effect on this would be kind of cool. Like if she doesn't get the kill, apply burn, or maybe apply curse if you don't get the kill. So that way it's like, it's not as bad if you miss the kill with the skill. It's kind of like, okay, I may have missed the kill, but at least they have another debuff on top of that. So that's what I would like to see for her. I definitely think it'd be really interesting if they actually gave her that. But all right, now to number 4. So this one, we're starting to get more of like the hot take kind of characters. So this one's kind of a hot take. Another hot take, that's why they're so low on the list for number 4. But it's going to be I forget he's actually a warrior. Corvus. Man, y'all remember the times when Corvus was a beast? Because I definitely do. He was tilting, y'all. He was on the tilting side. But now he's almost unusable. Almost no one uses him. And his kit is actually not that bad. So if you see his first skill, it can stun, it can transfer debuffs. This skill pushes back 40% when he's enraged and can stun AoE. So that's kind of cool. And then this skill heals him, gives him an extra turn, and just does a lot of work for him. So I kind of want to see him back, because I noticed they are releasing a lot of Earth heroes recently. Like Charles is really big in Guild Wars. Alencia is super strong right now in RTA. Like, she's kind of stomping right now in RTA, counting a lot of the water units. So I definitely see Corvus needs a little bit of love again, because he used to be that check. He was the one that was checking Alencia. He wasn't around as strong when Alencia was around, but he was a check to a lot of the Earth heroes. He hard checked Bazaar. Like, Bazaar wasn't as big when he was around, because this guy's scary. This guy could do a lot. They took off like some of the buffs. They made it so like this went down a little bit, and I think they reduced the healing. I don't remember exactly the nerfs they gave him, but I kind of want him to give him a little bit back in the exclusive artifact. So what stat do I think they should give him? I think they should give him effect resistance. So right now he has no effect resistance, so I would like to see the effect resistance. If not that, then either defense or effectiveness. Defense to go better with his kit, and effectiveness to go better with the debuffs he provides. So one of those. As far as the actual skills, I would like them to give him a defense buff on this skill. I think it'd be really, really cool. I mean, there's already so many characters that give defense buff, so it'd be nice to have him kind of be like a duelist to counter Alencia that can actually defense break and things like that. So I think it'd be pretty cool if they give him a defense buff on this skill, and he'll just cycle through it, and it just makes him survive longer. The other thing that they could do for the S2 would be to increase the percentage, so maybe go from 20% to 30%, because that would make it that you could push back the opponent 60% with this skill. That's scary. Like, that sounds stupid scary. So that'd be pretty cool. And last but not least, this one, you could just probably increase the chance as well. maybe go up to like 80%, because right now I think it only goes up to, oh no, it goes to 85%. Wow, if that was 100%, that'd be kind of broken, because that would be that, oh, the enemy's just stunned straight up. Okay, so it'd be nice just to see the percentage go up a little bit for the transfer. You know, something small, but I definitely think he needs a little bit more love. And I think he definitely has a place in the meta to come back. A lot of people used to like Corvus. He was really, really solid. He was in a lot of defenses. So I kind of want to see him come back. But again, he could become overtuned, which is why they probably don't want to mess with that. But I think it's cool. They haven't released that many 4-star exclusive artifacts either. And there's a lot of 4-stars that could definitely use the love. But alright, now on to number 3. These are units that people have been talking about for either buffs or for something. Like just throw them a stick or something, you know, because they're kind of struggling a little bit. And the first one that we're going to talk about is actually going to be Cess. So I know there's still people using Cess Bomb, but it's just not that good anymore. Why? Fallen CC is everywhere. Lilius is everywhere. Adamant Shield, Aureus combo is everywhere. And it just cuts damage so hard. And the thing about it is Cess actually, again, has potential. He can do good against Emerald Violet because this third skill does splash damage when you kill. And it's proportionate to the attack. So I definitely think it's like, he could definitely see his place in the meta. But the thing right now is he doesn't have a follow-up. He just kind of does his bomb, and that's it. He's done. Versus you have someone like Sigrid, who's the more popular option right now for Oxlot's teams. Because with Euphine, or for Sigrid, you take out a unit, maybe 2, with the S2, you get an extra turn, and then you can Extinction on Arbiter Vildred. Cess can't Extinction. He can't do that. He's not going to be killing the Arbiter Vildred forever. It's just not going to happen. So I definitely think a small, like an artifact would help him so much to come back and actually be like reliable, because he was my first 5-star ever. And I loved my Cess. I loved playing my Cess. And I thought it was so fun. But he's just not as reliable. He's not as strong. He loses to a lot more teams that he used to. And there's a lot more units that actually counter him. So what should they do with the exclusive? Has to be attack percentage. If they give him anything else but attack percentage, they're doing him a disservice. Because the biggest selling point of Cess is the fact that his final hit is based on his attack. So I definitely think they need to give him attack. You know, like that's almost non-negotiable if they do give him an exclusive equipment. Oh yeah, as far as Corvus, they should give him the exclusive equipment should be the shield. For Cess, his exclusive equipment should honestly be like, I think they mentioned he has something in his hand. So like maybe like a glove or something, like Cess's gloves. I think that'd be pretty cool, like the jacket. One of the two, probably the glove would be kind of cool. So probably the glove or like the symbol. So that one for sure, or maybe like something from Phantom CIC, like a little badge or something. I don't know. He has a lot of things that they could do. But alright, as far as to the skills, I think the S3, honestly the S3 is the strongest skill right now. But the only thing I could see them adding to the skill, which would be kind of huge, and they haven't done it before, would be to add Extinction. That's more of a buff. But you know, that's probably like they could make Cess really strong if they add Extinction to the skill. If they add Extinction to the skill, that's nuts. That's just, but they're not gonna, I haven't seen that in exclusive equipment, so I don't expect that. But I could see them increasing the damage of the splash damage. Because right now he kills his target, 100%, you're gonna kill your target. But you could make it so the splash damage is a little larger, so maybe increase the damage of the splash. That could be the thing that they actually do. For the S2, honestly, just reduce when this hits, because people still want to use their Cess for farming. So if you reduce the trigger chance, kind of like Sigrid, from this being 50% to when the enemy's health is 75%. That could even make him good for Wyvern. Because you realize he has a lot of, like, he has debuffs. He has debuffs. He has unhealable. It's not that many, but you know, you could give him some art. You could give, like, I don't know. Maybe give him the increase for now. That'd be nice because that would make it easier for farming. So make it so it triggers to 75%, similar to Sigrid's. And then for the S1, if they really wanted to do one, they could do it so they add a debuff to this. That could make it so he's running Wyvern more if people really want to run him in Wyvern. Or maybe add a debuff to the S3, or probably the S1 though. I think maybe adding like a chance for a defense break, even if it's not 100%, then people actually have the option to run him for Wyvern, which I think would be pretty unique. You know, change the PvE up a little bit. You know, make people have more creative teams in PvE, especially for Wyvern, so it's not just Sigrid and Alexa and like Furious. Because I feel like right now Wyvern is it's just build like the certain units and you can clear it. So I think it'd be kind of unique to see that change. But all right, now on to number 2. So these are units that really need like right now we're getting to the place where it's like these units really need the help. If they don't get this or a buff or something, they're not gonna be showing up as much anytime soon. And one of them is going to be Angelica. Y'all, the fall of Angelica has been hard. She went from the unit that you re-rolled your account to kind of just like a nice addition and an easy way to build while you build up your Montmorency. She actually almost has no place right now. And I use my Angie for Wyvern, right? She tanks, but I could easily change it from Montmorency, and it'd probably be better. My Wyvern runs would be better if I changed from my Angie, because my Angie has really good defensive equipment, versus as my Momo doesn't need as good of equipment. The Stina is better for the PvP aspect because she can counterattack, she can cleanse, she has big heals. Deannie is better in terms of support, in terms of barriers, and then Momo is also just better than her for giving immunity. There's so many other units that give immunity now, even 3-turn immunity with like DJ Bazaar. So it's kind of like, what's her role? She doesn't have anything special. So I think giving her an exclusive equipment is almost like, yo, I really do think that's going to be the next one. She even lost her spot to Challenger Dami. They don't even put Angelica anymore. That's how far she's dropped. People don't even care about Angelica anymore. Y'all, it's so sad. It's so sad seeing such a big unit drop down so much. But alright, what can they do to her? So as far as equipment, what I think it should be would be like her staff. That's the only thing she really has. Or like the hat. Or like maybe like the symbol of like the blue rose, which is where she works. The blue cross, my bad, not the blue rose. The blue cross. Just something. Maybe it could be like a blue cross, you know? And like leader of the blue cross or something. But then as far as to what they could do, I know they need to do this, and I know they're not going to, but I think that S3, to make her more PvP centric, I think they should give her something to cleanse right now. Because she is useless against Bazaar. And there's so many better healers that do so much. And this buff, if a Bazaar hits you, you're done. You're not getting your buffs, you know? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, as far as what she actually should get, HP or defense make the most sense. Effect resistance would be like a nice second. Or maybe even speed. I think low-key, if they give her speed, I could see her doing some stuff, you know, because she's a lot faster. She can actually take more turns. And her S2 is actually really tilting, and she can actually solo in Guild Wars. So maybe giving her speed would be like kind of a hot take, but most likely effect resistance, defense, or health. But then again, back to the skills. They really need to make this cleanse. Maybe just one debuff, so it's not broken. But just cleanse would be really freaking nice. Like this would just make it so she can actually be really strong again. The other thing that they could give her would be to reduce the cooldown of the skill by 1 turn. Right now, the cooldown is on the longer side. It's on a 4-turn cooldown for your ultimate. That's as long as the Stinas, and for what it does, it's not that crazy. So I think dropping down the cooldown would actually be really good for a second option. And then for a third option, looking at the skill 2, this heal is massive. But maybe giving something on top of that. Like maybe giving like the recovery buff. Or maybe even giving like making sure like the defensive one, maybe giving them a barrier. You know, giving her like the lowest health ally, give them a barrier. I think that's great. Because then you have like the defensive one. Because Angelica is very defensive. She's a very slow Soul Weaver, sets up strong buffs, sets up barrier. You know, she's kind of like pretty on the defensive side, not on the healing side, on the defensive side. So I think giving this so you could actually get a barrier from it would help so much. I would honestly use the barrier one because she would be so much better for Wyvern. But again, I'm not a Smigo's development team. I think it'd be pretty cool. I don't know. I think she has potential, and it's so sad. I really do think she needs to come back in the spotlight, but it's not bad enough that she needs a buff to the point of like a retweak. So I definitely think an exclusive equipment would help her out a lot there. Now, for the number 1, I never thought I was going to say this unit needed it when she first came out, but y'all, this unit, honestly, she is like the poster child of Epic 7. She's the thing that that got a bunch of people playing Epic 7. And she is so close to coming to episode 3. You know she's going to be in episode 3. So it's inevitable that A, she gets a rerun, and B, she gets like something exclusive, like an exclusive equipment. What I think they should do is honestly add her to the, like keep her exclusive, but maybe have like an event for her so more people can get her, and then give out an exclusive equipment. What do I think the exclusive equipment should be? So she used to be like premier unit for Wyvern. She used to be like a must-have for Abyss. She used to be like a must-have for Raid. She used to be a must-have. She still can do a lot of those things. But right now, Commander Lorena actually has more uses in her. Right now, Luna is not the premier single target DPS anymore. She used to be, but she's not. Why? So even with all this stuff, like the Emperor concentration being attack percentage, that's nuts. But why is she not the premier unit anymore? That's because her skill 1 is just too inconsistent. With all the reforging, all the things going, it's just too inconsistent. So alright, what should they give her as exclusive equipment? It makes sense for it to be the spear. Like that one makes the most sense. The other thing could be like some fragment that she carries, like a necklace maybe that she has. I can't tell. That looks kind of like a necklace, or maybe like a shoulder pad, something, or maybe like her dragon tail shoulder pad. Like, cause I'm pretty sure that's armor. So like, it could just be her armor, because her armor is probably the more iconic one of the two. But just something that would look cool. I think the spear makes the most sense though. And what should they buff about her? So right now, she needs to come back as she can either come back as a single DPS or back to Wyvern or something. So what could they add? So one of them, straight up, I think they should give her attack percentage. So she already inherently gets crit rate, crit chance. So she doesn't need crit rate. They could give her crit hit damage. I think that one would be the best. So they could either give her crit hit damage or attack percentage. She definitely needs offensive. I really hope that they don't do something that they've been doing with a lot of units and be like, oh, you know, she's a warrior, let's give her health. That's stupid. That would make her so she's not used anymore. I definitely think she needs like attack, like more offensive. And then how about, what does it actually do? So skill 1, man, the 1 to 3 is killing her. I think the artifact should make it so it's 2 to 3. So remove the 1. Because it's so crushing to get a 1 in a boss and lose the boss or lose the run because your Luna got RNG. There's already enough RNG in this game. There's already enough RNG in Wyvern. You don't need to add an extra layer of RNG to the skill. Take off the low damage. For people that want to do speedruns, Luna could be really good for that. If it was 2 to 3 and you know she's doing a set amount of DPS to Wyvern, she could be amazing. But that's what you give her, and a little bit more attack. I feel like that'd be awesome. The other thing they could give her is, as you guys know, for Wyvern, having a debuff is very important. So if they gave her an S1 debuff, the debuff I think they should give her would be, I don't think it should be defense break, but maybe burn, since her attack would be higher if you give her the attack percentage. And then you could even stack that burn passive with like the event artifact exclusive that also gives burn. So that could be super unique. So that way she can add burn, do damage. She could be like an aggressive debuffer. So that won't be cool. And last one, you always need to have something for the ultimate. Right now, the ultimate, all it does, it's like decreased defense and that's it. And the damage isn't even like that crazy. So I definitely think they could go for a damage increase on the S3. So that way when you soul burn it, it does like nutty damage. So you could even do some like manual Wyvern one-shot teams with Luna. But also, maybe add another debuff for this one too. Like maybe extend the debuff duration to 3 turns. So that way, if you actually get it off, because it takes forever to get S3. So if you actually get it off, maybe have the debuff be 3 turns instead of 2. You know, I feel like that's not too crazy, right? To have a 3-turn decreased defense. I think that's perfect. So there's a lot of ideas to change these heroes, but all these heroes, they're just right there. They're like, give me 1 buff and I got you. So I definitely think they should really give these heroes the little bit of love they deserve so they're able to push past that barrier and go beyond. But that is all I have for you guys today. Let me know in the comments if you agree, disagree, or who do you want to see get an exclusive equipment. Because honestly, they can't be very game changing. There have been some pretty game changing exclusive equipments. So let me know which one you guys think should get what. But that's all, and I will see you all next time. Peace.